What do a violinist who plays her instrument like a cello, the godfather of Portland soul, and a blind blues virtuoso have in common? They're all on my +1 tour of the unexpected in music. Oh, and who am I? I'm Chris Funk. I play a bit of music. You may have heard of my band. I'm looking at surprising and extraordinary people in music.
My first stop takes me to Duluth, Minnesota. There, I will meet up with Gaelynn Lea, an artist who creates music like nobody else. I've shared the stage with some incredible people in my life, but the musician I'm meeting today is truly extraordinary.
My name is Gaelynn Lea, and I am a violinist and a songwriter from Duluth, Minnesota.
I had heard a lot about Gaelynn and was excited to meet her. Little did I know that she was also a fan of the Decemberists. It turns out she had heard us play in 2004.
Hand spray painted.
Yes.
No way, that's hilarious. I don't even have one of these. I'm keeping it, thank you. It's coming home.
No, my nice too. Well, I thought it was going to be like a toy, but it was like, oh no, this is a real
Yeah, it's legit, man.
Gaelynn was born with brittle bone disease, which has left her in a wheelchair. But you'll really forget that after a few minutes.
I started playing the violin when I was 10 years old. I loved the way the strings sounded, so the next year, the teacher took it upon herself to help me figure out how to play up and down like a little cello. So it just meant I had to practice the same stuff a little bit harder probably, and maybe that was a good thing in disguise.
Gaelynn had been a part of the Duluth music scene for years when another musician gave her a device called a looping pedal. It allows her to record herself and play the music back while she's performing.
And now I can play a song. Looping was a mind blower. I mean, it was so much a game changer. Because it was just such a cool experience to go from one note to like 10 notes and have it be orchestrated. It opened up a lot of doors, instrumentally and vocally, and everything just kind of changed when I got into looping. And then I might want to fade out.
So you're engaging all that with your knee.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm always fascinated by the imagination musicians will use to create new and fresh sounds. But the ingenuity that Gaelynn has shown in her journey to produce beautiful music is truly inspiring.
I think any instrument, but especially violin, the way I play automatically just sounds different than the way someone else plays. It's really cool how you develop a voice and a form of expression that's kind of unique. It just clears my mind and lifts my spirit. There's not anything else I've found that does that.
The Decemberists tour brought me to Nashville, where we played the historic Ryman Theater. A day between shows gave me a chance to explore the city, known for its honky-tonks and live shows. But I was here for something else, to track down an 80s icon. The year is 1988. Big hair and denim are in. The ultimate lead singer in hair metal, Kip Winger, and his band are at the top of the charts. But the party that seemed like it would never end suddenly came crashing down. No airplay, no singles, nothing. But it turns out this was just the beginning for Kip Winger.
I'm Kip Winger, and I'm in the band Winger, and I'm also a classical composer. At the height of my career, we were playing for thousands of people every night and gold and platinum albums. Beavis and Butthead was the biggest show in MTV's history at the time, and it ushered in a whole new genre of music. grunge, and it completely ripped apart the 80s hair bands, and I was at the scene of the crime. My name was on the Little Geeky Guys t-shirt that represented everything that sucked. Lost the record deal, lost the publishing. I was at my very lowest point. I did say, well, there's nothing else to do now except that thing that I've always wanted to do, which is really learn how to wield an orchestra organically.
To go from a rock bass player to composer is learning music all over again. To do so later in life as Kip did is almost unheard of.
I could never even read an orchestral score until I was 35. 10, 15 years into it to finally start to hear orchestras play my music and realize, oh my God, this is really what I'm here to be doing.
Dude, that's awesome. That's amazing.
In this case, I took I'm calling it a riff because that's my terminology from being a rock guy. Turns into. It was a scary and lonely path. I've got a record company that's going, why are you doing that? You're a rocker, you need to rock. And I'm like, no, I don't need to rock, I need to be doing this. This kind of starts all on a rock riff, really. You know, you kind of go against all odds when you just believe in something.
Despite the challenges with learning how to compose, Kip's persistence ultimately led to a Grammy nomination in contemporary classical composition.
It's a very cathartic, healing experience to overcome my illiteracy in music at a late age with not so much self-confidence. It was like, okay, you know what? I don't suck. Like, it wasn't true what they all said. To be acknowledged with a composer nomination from the Grammys was the greatest feeling of accomplishment of my whole life.
My town of Portland, Oregon isn't known for having a thriving R&B scene. But the Portland I know has a secret. Hidden in the heart of the city's music culture is a master of soul, who has shared the stage with the likes of Otis Redding and James Brown.
My sunny days stay bright.
This established 78-year-old is proving that great R&B can be found anywhere.
Everything I do with you, baby.
My name is Ural Thomas. I'm singing with a band called The Pain. We have a very unique style of rhythm and blues.
It's all because of you.
I've been an R&B musician for over 40 years, and I've lived in Portland all my life. Do you know this one? They used to say Portland didn't have good musicians. They would say, Portland? Where's that? Who do you know in Portland that's ever done anything? I say, I know me. And I'm having fun.
Ural's music has taken him as far as the Apollo Theater in Harlem. But after experiencing great achievement, the Siren Song of Portland lured him back home.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
We met him at his place known for its infamous Sunday jam sessions with some of Portland's best musicians.
Portland, to me, is a very positive place. So I come back home where I know that I'm positive. And I figure maybe I can do something in Portland to help musicians. I really have enjoyed sharing my soul. There are no words to explain that feeling. It's like magic.
Ural has played music through segregation and the civil rights movement, watching Portland transition into the city it is today.
The Pacific Northwest was very segregated. There was a lot of places that, black singers and stuff couldn't go. So then we had opportunity to show the people what music was really about. It wasn't about being divided. We didn't have no black and white because we all did it together. I've played with some very amazing people in my life, like Mick Jagger, Otis Redding, Ural Thomas, wonderful people. It was a blessing for me to have all the experiences that I can say that I was a part of.
Ural's musical journey has taken him around the country, but I'm happy he's made his way back home to Portland because every city needs an unexpected treasure.
I'm back home now with the most wonderful group that I can ever deal with. The guys are called The Pain, and we're going to bring it.
I've traveled to Virginia and stepped back into history to meet a musician who's perfected a rather unusual medium: glass.
The glass harmonica really had this effect on people who heard it. I mean, they were saying it was the most beautiful sound they'd ever heard. And there were a lot of beautiful sounds in the 18th century. But, you know, there was something different in the sound of the harmonica. I wanted to give people that come to Williamsburg an experience that they wouldn't get anywhere else. My name is Dean Shostak. I'm here in Williamsburg, Virginia, where I live, and I play the glass harmonica, but I also play a number of other glass instruments too, like this crystal bache.
Dean has spent years mastering the skills necessary to play this family of glass instruments, all of which originated with the glass harmonica, an instrument with a very unexpected creator.
The glass harmonica was invented by Benjamin Franklin in 1761. He had seen somebody play on the wine glasses in a concert, and he got the idea that you could actually use glass in an entirely different way. You could actually make them rotate with a flywheel. You're working with your foot, and with wet fingers, you can play it very much like a keyboard.
Almost got it. Obviously, you don't tune this instrument.
No, that's the one nice thing. Everybody has to tune to me. First thing you need to do is get your hands really clean. And that takes a high calcium content in the water, which they happen to have here at this theater. So I've got these jugs. I literally actually bring the water from the theater back to my house to have the same water to play with all the time. The skin absorbs moisture, and so you really want your hands to start wrinkling up a little bit too. The condition of the skin on your fingers is really what produces the sounds.
And those mesmerizing sounds produced by skin on glass are not limited to the glass harmonica or the crystal bache. The technique has led to some truly bizarre instruments.
I've heard the argument made that, you know, we've gone as far as we can with acoustic instruments. If you think about glass music as a still unexplored musical frontier, it's pretty exciting to think what instruments we could try in glass, you know, but we don't know until we make these instruments what they're going to be like. I think we should know about the glass harmonica because it's truly the first American instrument. You know, aside from the Native American instruments already here, I absolutely had to teach myself how to play. My only sources were reading what Franklin wrote and these other guys back in the time. It is new every day. Every time I sit down and play the harmonica, it is a fresh experience and a challenge each time.
My next stop takes me to New York City.
Trouble started with my eyes when I was 16, 17. And by the time I was 18, I had to stop driving. Doctor said, you legally blind, you got 10/600 vision, you can't be behind the wheel and be safe. I have visual imperatives, but legally blind boy Paxton is the stupidest stage name I could come up with, so I just omitted the legally.
You want to play some piano?
Oh, man. My name is Jerron Paxton. Born South Central Los Angeles, currently of New York City and a world traveler. I'm a music physician, Dr. Feelgood of music, as it was.
Jerron is a master of forgotten music. The first time I heard him play, I thought I was listening to some old obscure 45s. He can pick up almost any instrument and it sounds like he just stepped off the Mississippi Delta.
I play guitar, banjo, harmonica, piano, fiddle, and some other instruments that are reserved for private pleasure. What? Get your mind out of the gutter. People call this traditional music, and a lot of people tend to think of me as a revivalist. I don't tend to think of things in those terms because I'm a musician. This is music I always played, and I always played it for my family. It's not old or traditional or throwback. I'm just a dude that plays music that my folks and I want to listen to. Play the melody with the right side. No way. And you play the harmony with the left side. I've got insane oral skills.
One of my favorite things about Jerron is that he's on a historical mission of sorts, rediscovering, for the rest of us, the original black music of America.
People don't associate the banjo with black people anymore. And, 200 years ago, that's all you associated with them. Oh, baby. That's my direction. To find the music that relates to my culture, I had to go back. I had to go back past recording history. I had to go back to the 1840s to hear what that kind of music sounded like. And seeing as there ain't no records of it, I have to recreate it. I'm one of a handful of black banjo players left in the world. I figured to represent black banjo music, all I had to do is just act natural. It may rain, it may snow, it may rain. Back home in South Central, I play the music like my grandma taught me from the cotton field. It don't have too much European overtones and influences. The techniques and a lot of the melodies are made out of whole cloth by the builders of America. Thank you so much, my gangster brethren and sisters.
After watching Jerron at the Jalopy Theater in Brooklyn play songs that are 100 years old, it's easy to see why he can captivate an audience.
It takes me, it's my music, it's my culture, and it's my passion. And I don't watch TV and I don't have too many other hobbies, so this is what I get into. And I get into the history of it. It seems to be more entertaining than any book and any story you could read because it's all real. And there's more of it to be discovered.
Thank you, friends.
Hawaii offers so much beauty, from cliffs rising out of the ocean to rolling hills and lush green valleys. But what surprised me when I got here was the deep-rooted community of cowboys, something normally associated with the Southwest.
A lot of people, they don't realize how far back we go being Hawaiian cowboys as part of our heritage. We had cowboys here on the Big Island before there was any states west of the Mississippi, including Texas.
The influence of Spanish cowboys, called vaqueros, is ever present in Hawaiian culture. They came here in the 1800s to teach the islanders to herd cattle, bringing with them a lasting way of life, culture, and a unique style of music called slack key.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
How are you?
Interrupt here.
You heard us from?
I just heard you from up there.
Oh, hey, welcome. You're welcome.
Slack key style involves loosening the string while tuning to create a sweet, soothing sound synonymous with the aloha nature of Hawaii.
When the vaqueros came here, they brought the guitar in. Along with them, they brought some open Spanish tunings, and they taught the Hawaiians how to play these tunings. So the Hawaiians played it, learned it, And then they created their own style of playing. Kihuala is called Islaki. The Cowboys does everything from A to Z. Work the cattle, brand the cattle. Come on then, Paniolo. And when the job's done, they play slack key. And sometimes they play music right there where they're at. I've never seen a Paniolo without his guitar. It's like a fish without water.
Had a red bandana, found a sack in his hand.
The authenticity of Leabert and the Paniolos blew me away. Modern-day folk music is rooted in historical themes like coal mining and railroad work, even though today's musicians have never likely done these jobs. But Leabert embodies everything about the lifestyle. He's a true Hawaiian cowboy who also happens to be one of the best slack key guitarists.
Yes!
That's a good one.
I'm very appreciative to the vaqueros who came here to teach us Hawaiians how to be cowboys. And we created our own style of being cowboys, which is a Paniolo.
Every time I looked at you, I just don't know.
It's something that is really valuable in our way of life. If you don't pass this knowledge down to the next generation, it's going to be lost. This is a really, really important part of our heritage that we want to continue.
Someone's gonna call me Hawaiian. I'm not gonna say no.
Hey, you're Hawaiian.
All right, good. Yes. Woo.
You're a Paniolo.